Amid the fanfare of a military parade and the chants in North Korea, in this strange atmosphere, a young woman stands with a faint smile on her face. This is no ordinary woman. She is Kim Yo-jong, the only and younger sister of North Korea's supreme leader, Kim Jong-un. But this innocent-looking face is known as the most dangerous woman in the world. Yes, the most dangerous woman in the world. These are not just the words of critics, but experts also say that Kim Yo-jong should never be taken lightly. Today, we will take a look inside North Korea's closed world to see how this woman has quietly woven a web of power. A woman who, when necessary, can strike ruthlessly, yet also knows how to charm her enemies with her smile. What is the reason that the world today is compelled to call her the most dangerous woman in history? Viewers, Kim Yo-jong was born around 1987 in Pyongyang. According to the US Treasury, her birth date is September 26, 1989, while South Korean experts claim she was born in 1987. The exact date is something that perhaps no one can say with certainty, but what is confirmed is that she is the youngest daughter of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-il and the biological sister of today's supreme leader Kim Jong-un. Her mother, Ko Young-hue, gave birth to 3 children. Kim Jong-chol, who has absolutely no interest in politics. He is fond of playing music and lives in his own world. Second is Kim Jong-un, who has become the current face of North Korea, and third is Kim Yo-jong, the beloved sister of the 2 brothers. She spent her childhood with her brothers in the secluded luxury of a private compound in Pyongyang, but was never presented to the world. She was introduced to the world for the first time in 2011 when she was seen standing with her brother at her father's funeral. At first, no one knew her, but for those who could read the signs, it was clear that she had now entered the inner circle of power. After that, Kim Yo-jong remained her brother's trusted companion as Kim Jong-un began ruthlessly removing every obstacle in the way of his rule. She was seen at every meeting, every ceremony, always near the supreme leader, sometimes standing with documents, other times seen with an ashtray so that her chain-smoking brother would not even be inconvenienced in his indulgence. The world saw her as an assistant, a sister who was simply helping her brother, but the reality was much more than that. Even their chain-smoker brother wouldn't have any trouble ashing his cigarette. The world saw her as an assistant, a sister who was just helping her brother, but the reality was far more terrifying. To understand the real reason behind this alliance, let's go back a few years. In the 1990s, Kim Jong-il sent his children to Europe so they could receive a good education there. Kim Yo-jong was sent to a school in the city of Bern, Switzerland in 1996 where she studied under a false name. Sometime later, Kim Jong-un joined her. Now both siblings started studying at the same school and both were registered under fake names. Kim Jong-un's assumed name was Park Un, while his sister Kim Yo-jong was registered as Park Mi-hyang. In Switzerland, they were known as ordinary Korean children, but the reality was something entirely different. The 2 siblings lived in a regular apartment in the city, but this apartment was constantly monitored by North Korean officials. Their relatives also lived with them along with a team of undercover bodyguards. Kim Jong-un's classmates said that there were photos of basketball players in the apartment, which was probably Kim Jong-un's hobby. But even at that time, Kim Yo-jong was kept under strict protection. For many years, they pretended to be Korean children, but in reality, the entire state machinery was working behind them. In 2000, Kim Yo-jong returned to North Korea. In 2007, she earned a degree in computer science from Kim Il-sung University in Pyongyang, and in the same year, she secured a junior position in the government's Workers' Party. She was seen for the first time at her father's funeral in 2011. Immediately after that, in 2012, she was selected as a tour manager in the National Defense Commission. This was no ordinary post. She was responsible for her brother's travel, where Kim Jong-un would go, which route he would take, when he would go, and what would be done along the way. Kim Yo-jong managed all of this when she was only 23 years old. She even planned Kim Jong-un's security herself. In 2014, for the first time, North Korean media officially disclosed Kim Yo-jong's name when she was appointed Vice Director of the Workers' Party's Propaganda and Agitation Department. Although this is technically a media department or media wing, its real job is to carry out propaganda and present different perspectives about their leader to the public. Within a year, she quietly became the real boss of this department. Even though on paper someone else was the senior officer, it was she who truly ran things. It was Young herself. She had attained the position of propaganda chief. In North Korea, where men dominate, for a woman to reach such a high position was nothing short of a miracle. With the reins of the propaganda machine in her hands, Kim Yo-jong tried to make her brother's personality as strong as their grandfather Kim Il-sung's. By that time, she was just as responsible for the oppression in North Korea as Kim Jong-un was, because she began to be considered more powerful than the supreme leader in North Korea. That's why, in 2017, the US Treasury added Kim Yo-jong's name to its sanctions list. In February 2018, she shone on the world stage when she went to South Korea for the Winter Olympics. South Korea used the Winter Olympics as an opportunity to end hostilities and also invited North Korea. Since the Korean War in 1953, this was the first time that a member of North Korea's royal family would set foot on South Korean soil. At this historic moment, Kim Jong-un's sister went in his place. When the special plane landed in Pyeongchang, South Korea, it was an astonishing sight for the world's media. On this occasion, Kim Yo-jong put on a remarkable act of friendship despite the enmity, and her smile became the center of media attention. She presented a soft image of North Korea. She had dinners with South Korean leaders and handed them a secret letter from her brother. The message sent to the world was that perhaps the enmity had now ended. But experts believe that all of this was part of a trap or propaganda. After that, in 2018 to 2019, she was present with her brother at every important meeting. Whether it was the historic summit with South Korea's Moon Jae-in or the smile-filled meeting with US President Donald Trump, everywhere she was found behind Kim Jong-un like a shadow, ensuring that in every picture and every news story her elder brother's image remained favorable. By the end of 2019, nuclear talks with the United States had failed. Perhaps the blame for this failure fell on Kim Yo-jong, and she was quietly removed from the political bureau. The world thought that perhaps the royal sister's rise had ended, but this was merely the calm before the storm. In April 2020, a strange situation arose. Dictator Kim Jong-un suddenly disappeared from the public eye. Rumors began circulating in intelligence agencies and media around the world that perhaps the dictator had died. But in that foggy silence, a thunderous voice emerged from the North Korean media that struck fear into everyone. For the first time, a personal statement was issued under the name of Kim Yo-jong. A personal statement was issued in his name. He compared South Korea to a trembling dog that only knows how to bark. This was not just a threat but a message to the world that if the brother is not present, the sister is absolutely ready to take the throne. As a result, not only did Kim Jong-un return within just a few weeks, but Yo-jong was also reinstated in the political bureau with even more power than before. This single incident proved that she is not just an advisor but the true Iron Lady of this regime. In North Korea, the path to power passes over the bodies of one's own, and Kim Yo-jong is a master player in this bloody game. In 2013, when Kim Jong-un declared his own uncle, Jang Song-taek, a traitor and had him executed, it is said that it was his sister's mind behind this terrifying decision. Jang's crime was also astonishing. He simply did not clap wholeheartedly for the supreme leader at an event. Similarly, in 2017, Kim Jong-un's half-brother Kim Jong-nam was poisoned and killed at Malaysia's airport, and the world directly attributes this murder to the Kim regime. According to recent reports, in North Korea, some high-ranking government officials were sentenced to death simply because they were a little late in showing respect to Yo-jong. In June 2020, on Kim Yo-jong's orders, North Korea blew up the South-North Liaison Office building to teach South Korea a harsh lesson. This building was serving as the last hope for friendship between the two countries. Kim Yo-jong not only makes decisions, but the words that come from her mouth are no less than a weapon. Her tone is extremely vile towards those defectors who have fled North Korea. She calls them scum and filthy insects and openly threatens that they will have to pay a terrible price for this betrayal. But her anger is not limited to her own people. In 2023, she referred to the president of the world's greatest power, America, Joe Biden, as an old man with no future. Not only that, she even called the president of South Korea America's hungry dog. These words show that Kim Yo-jong's style is in no way less than that of any male dictator, and when she gets angry, she speaks out even more than Kim Jong-un. Today, Kim Yo-jong is considered the de facto number 2 leader of North Korea. She is a member of the country's highest decision-making commission, and together with her brother, not only they run the government together. Officially, she is the propaganda chief, but she has deep involvement in every policy and decision. Recently, she has issued at least 40 official statements on behalf of Kim Jong-un, which previously only the supreme leader used to make. This shows that she has now become the country's mouthpiece herself. Many experts consider her to be North Korea's female co-dictator. The world has never seen a female leader threatening other countries with nuclear war before. Considering all these circumstances, experts believe that if anything happens to Kim Jong-un, power will first go to Kim Yo-jong. A North Korean defector and diplomat, Tae Yong-ho, says that if Kim Jong-un were to suddenly die, according to the rules, the new leadership would go to Yo-jong, because according to current reports, Kim Jong-un does not have a son, and even if he does, it would take a long time for him to mature. This clearly shows that in such a situation, the next turn would be Yo-jong's. But has Yo-jong been the most powerful leader in history, or has history seen something like this before? If we look at history, some women have certainly ruled with fear in their time. For example, Chinese Empress Wu Zetian seized power after her husband in the 7th century and did not hesitate to sacrifice even her own people for her goals. Europe's Queen Mary Tudor shed rivers of blood in her country over the smallest matters, but those old queens neither had a nuclear button nor such a closed society where no one could speak against their will. Today, Kim Yo-jong has both of these things, which is why many people believe that she has truly become the most dangerous woman in the world. After all these incidents, if anyone still considers her weak just because she is a woman, that would be their biggest mistake. There was a time when the world saw her as just a silent supporter, but today she has become the most powerful and mysterious woman in North Korea. The question is not how dangerous Kim Yo-jong is. The real question is, if Kim Jong-un were to step aside tomorrow, would the world be ready to face a lady dictator for the first time? A woman whose single gesture can turn buildings to ashes, have officials killed, and whose anger has the power to shake even the world's greatest nations? Could Kim Yo-jong prove to be even more ruthless than her brother? Or is this just the beginning of a terrifying story? We hope that you will also thoroughly enjoy this video.